Now, more of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by Twin City Bank. Now, Arkansas's most watched sports show, Hooten's Arkansas football.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to Hooten's Arkansas football. It's the fourth week of Arkansas's high school season last night. We've got highlights from all the conference openers on Hooten's Arkansas football in the next half hour. We're glad you're tuned in. We're at Marketplace Grill today, a great place for a Saturday lunch or dinner before or after the Razorback game. They've got locations all across the state. We'll be talking more about Marketplace coming up in just a little bit. Right now, though, let's get to the highlights. And our big school highlights are brought to you by Big Red Stores.
We'll begin in Saline County, Little Rock Catholic at Bryant, and Catholic quarterback Taylor Bartlett goes up top to John Springer. The Rockets ready to launch, and there goes Bartlett. He's just a sophomore, taking it off for the end zone, and Catholic was up early on Bryant. But the Hornets come back. Senior quarterback Logan Parker passes to classmate Jake Johnson for the diving touchdown. Sweet play by Jake in the corner of the end zone, and Bryant blows by Catholic in the second half. The Hornets head to Pine Bluff next. Final score, Bryant 35, Little Rock Catholic 14. At Little Rock Central, the Tigers getting a great return from Bo Dillon on the opening kickoff of 40 yards. That would set up Central a little bit later. It's Dillon again, taking the pitch to the far side, and Central's anemic offense has scored. Tigers 7, Pine Bluff 0. The Zebras on their first possession trying to get tricky. The lateral is loose, and Central's defense is going to recover the fumble, and that sets up Bo. Bo knows how to find the end zone. Dillon's got Central on the board again. The Tigers are up 14-0, and they're not done. More of Central's offense. This is senior Tim Dunn, the transfer from North Little Rock. He won't be denied, plowing over 5 Pine Bluff defenders, and Central was up 21-0 in the second quarter. Pine Bluff would answer just before the break. Quarterback Sebastian Stargill finds Carrera Frazier for the touchdown. It was 21-7 at the break. Final score, Little Rock Central 43, Pine Bluff 19. At Cabot, the Panthers wearing the red, taking on the Conway Wampus Cats. And look at Jordan Carlisle falling his blockers into the end zone. Cabot up early. A little bit later, Cabot doing what Cabot do, right up the middle. Michael James, 53-yard touchdown run. Both James and Carlisle had more than 100 yards in the first 3 quarters. Final score, Cabot 28, Conway 9. At North Little Rock, the Charging Wildcats in Russellville, and North Little Rock's Myron Williams can't handle the lateral. Russellville's Jared Benson makes the recovery, and that sets up the Cyclones' Blake Humphrey. Throwing to Benson with the score. A little bit later, more Humphrey, sweet fake, and the high toss. Tyler Lee's under it, and into the end zone. Russellville up by 2 touchdowns. North Little Rock comes back. Jonathan Dye, he's loose, got one man to beat, going to cut back inside, 62-yard run, but this one's coming back. In fact, it was one of 2 touchdowns North Little Rock had called back. Humphrey would add another Russellville touchdown just before the break. Cyclones were up 20-0 at half. Final score, Russellville 20, North Little Rock 7. Here's Hootens.com Class 7A rankings. The top 5 stays the same. Bentonville, a big winner over Springdale. Little Rock Central took out Pine Bluff. Bryant creamed Catholic. Southside was a monster winner over Van Buren, and Harbor ripped Rogers. There is a shakeup in the second 5. Northside and Cabot both move up a spot, and those 2 are the only 4-0 teams in Class 7A. Fayetteville drops to number 8. There's Russellville up to number 9, and North Little Rock to round out the top 10. Numbers 11 through 15 all remain the same, and all lost their conference opener. In Class 6A, the number 1 ranked team in the state, no doubt, Texarkana. The defending state champs at Parkview, and Dennis Johnson runs right over Parkview for a 12-yard touchdown. And a little bit later, it's the Hog quarterback, Bo Bigham, 53 yards to who else? Dennis Johnson. He had 4 touchdowns on the night, 2 running, this catch, and his 3rd punt return of the season. Parkview try to get something going. Daryl Mixon hits Chris Childs, the 19-yard gain on the screen. But Texarkana's Will Wagner makes the interception, and Texarkana throws a shutout. Final score, Hogs 40, Parkview 0. Texarkana stays on top of Hootens.com Class 6A rankings. Dennis Johnson has 10 touchdowns in 4 games. West Memphis is at number 2 and has a pivotal conference game next week at Marion. Lake Hamilton is undefeated and untested. El Dorado has won back-to-back games and holds steady at number 4. Marion had to kick a late field goal to beat Searcy on Friday night. The second 5 starts with Forest City, then it's Sheridan, Jacksonville. Benton gets its first win of the season and moves up to number 9. Number 11 ranked Mountain Home was state runner-ups a year ago, but the Bombers are winless this year.
Hi, I'm Erica Cash from Bologna, and more highlights are coming up on Hooten's Arkansas football. Let's go, Eagles!
Now, more of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by Twin City Bank.
We got to know what we came here to do. You understand? Sir! 48 minutes, play hard, play smart, play together. Sir! Let's get it right here. Go,
Harrison coach Tommy Tice and Class 5A's number 3 ranked Golden Goblins at Greenbrier Friday night. And Harrison had no trouble in this one. Senior quarterback Matt Brown finds classmate Jason Bohm. He's a big 6'3", 200-pound Goblin. That's a Harrison first down. Then Brown hands it to junior Jacob Grigg, and he's going to slide right up the middle before Greenbrier's Zach Richard finally wraps up his ankles. That sets up Harrison's first score. Brown bobbles the snap, but he's going to pick it up and still score. Harrison led Greenbrier 7-zip. Harrison's defense dominated too. Check out big number 89. That's Austin Tate. He's 6'6", 220, only a junior, but a force at defensive end and tight end. He slings Cody Rash down, and Harrison would add to its lead in the second quarter. Brown with the sweet screen setup and the toss to Grigg. This play would come back because of holding, but it wouldn't stop Harrison. And another big old raw-boned Goblin. That's Matt Crowder, 6'1", 220. They feed him good up in the heels. Crowder will walk in the end zone moments later, and Harrison heads home for a showdown with Greenwood next week on Crooked Creek. Final score, Harrison 40, Greenbrier 7. From Greenbrier to the green and gold of Mills, the Comets trailed Monticello 14-0 thanks to some hard-hitting defense from Monticello and Brinson Matthews. But Mills mounts a drive and gets on the scoreboard just before halftime. Tim Stegall's 2-yard plunge put Mills on the board. Monticello gains nearly 400 yards of offense, and the defense shut out Mills the second half. Final score, Monticello 28, Mills 6. Big homecoming crowd at Bologna to see the Eagles in Siloam Springs. Bologna trailed by just 1 late in the first half, but the second half was a bunch of Bologna turnovers, followed by Siloam touchdowns. Matt Reed ranks Bologna's quarterback, and Logan Porter recovers for Siloam at the 26. A couple of plays later, Siloam Springs quarterback Nathan Nogg goes 17 yards for the touchdown. And just a few plays later, Bologna's Kevin Puckett going over the middle, but Siloam Springs' Caleb Nooner makes the diving interception. The Panthers take over on their 45. A couple of plays later, on 3rd and 10, Null finds Cody Reese. He's got the corner, and it's a foot race. Bologna can't catch Cody. Siloam led 41-13 at one point. Final score, Siloam Springs 41, Bologna 21. Undefeated Little Rock Christian at Alma, and on the first play of the game, Little Rock Christian quarterback Griffin Kuhn with a fake going up top. Tyler Weddle, 80-yard touchdown for Christian on its next possession. Christian's big number 5, Michael Dyer, he's only a sophomore, faking out Alma for 20 of his nearly 200 yards on the night. That sets up Kuhn's touchdown pass to Taylor Johnson. Little Rock Christian 14, Alma zip. Kelsey Salmon adds a 38-yard field goal before the half, and the Warriors cruise to 4-0. Final score, Little Rock Christian 37, Alma nada. Here's Hootens.com Class 5A Top 20. The top 8 remain the same. Greenwood has that big one in Harrison next week. Camden Fairview beat Little Rock Fair by 25. There's the Golden Goblins, Batesville. Then it's the Chickasaws and BB, which is averaging 34 points a game and is undefeated. Siloam Springs jumps into the top 10, and there's Little Rock Christian, which creamed Alma 37-zip. Magnolia starts the second 10, followed by Bologna. Monticello, which rushed for more than 300 yards against Mills. Then it's Crosset and Nettleton. Hope jumps up to number 16. The Bobcats held Malvern to 7 points on Friday. Then it's West Helena, Hot Springs, the winless Wind Yellow Jackets, which are scoring just 6 points per game, and Hot Springs Lakeside.
That's the Class 5A rankings from Hooten's Arkansas football this morning from the Marketplace Grill. And coming up next, it's more of Hooten's Arkansas football. Class 4A highlights are straight ahead.
Hi, I'm Cassie Neely from Star City, and the Bulldogs always stay tuned for more Hooten's Arkansas football.
Now, more of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by Sonic.
We begin Class 4A at Arkansas Baptist. The Eagles playing host to Oak Grove, and that's Brandon Hudson spinning, shedding tacklers. A long run for Oak Grove before Baptist's Jonathan Frericks could bring him down. A little later, it's Hudson again running up the middle, untouched. Oak Grove was up 14-0, but Baptist strikes back. Quarterback Logan Quinn, he's a good one, hits Cody Sanders for the touchdown, but it wasn't enough. Final score, Oak Grove 42, Arkansas Baptist 18. To number 2, Nashville. The Scrappers up big on Fountain Lake, already 27-0 in the second quarter, but Fountain Lake on the move now. Quarterback Cody Brashears hands it to Andrew Davis, and Andrew's got good yardage. This drive would stall, however, and Nashville comes back trying to add more just before the half, running the 2-minute offense. Pierre Vaughn throwing over the middle to Tyler Serrano. Serrano had a huge night, caught 5 passes for 100 yards, also returned a punt and a kickoff for a touchdown. The Scrappers in the orange zone from the 8, and Vaughn rolls right, makes an easy decision, tucks it and scores. He ran for 98 yards, passed for 146, and Nashville drains Fountain Lake. Final score, Scrappers 47, Fountain Lake 14. Full house on hand in Warren for the Hooten.com Class 4A Game of the Week. Number 5, Dollar Way jumped on top, ranked Warren early. Dollar Way 18, Warren 14 in the second quarter, but here come the Lumberjacks. Warren sophomore quarterback Hayden Smith standing tough in the face of the rush and going deep. That's future Razorback Jarius Wright, his second touchdown of the night, and Warren takes the lead 20-18 at halftime. In the third quarter, Warren is pinned deep. That's right at quarterback. He's in trouble. Herbie Allen with the rush for Dollar Way. They say Wright stepped out of the back of the end zone before the interception. That's a safety. It's Warren 20, Dollar Way 20. Headed into the fourth, a fantastic finish. Warren's got the ball back, and Smith's going deep, looking for Wright again, and he lays it in there perfectly. This is Wright's third trip to the end zone, a 53-yard bomb, and Warren's up 26-20. But Dollar Way's not going away. Look at Harris on the run. Dollar Way racked up 366 total yards Friday night. A little later, Harris on the move again, but there's Warren sophomore Antonio Harding with the strip. Blake Harris is scooping and scoring. Harris with the huge play and a big night. He also had 2 interceptions, and this return seals it for Warren. Final score, Lumberjacks 32, Dollar Way 20.
I love it tonight. You kept battling, you kept fighting. That's a great effort. Great effort by everybody.
Man, we come out of the first half, kind of a slow start. Right before the half, we drove it twice, end up getting a lead for the halftime. Second half, we just played our hearts out.
Here's Hootens.com Class 4A Top 20. The top 8 stays the same. Warren won over Dollar Way and may not be tested again until November. There's Nashville and Newport averaging 44 points per game. The Greyhounds should be 6-0 when they travel to Stuttgart in mid-October. Undefeated Stuttgart starts the second 5. The Ricebirds have survived a rash of injuries to start the season. There's Farmington and Boonville, which blanked Clarksville 21-0 and will play number 9 Ozark for the conference title on November 2nd. Osceola moves up to number 11 after a 1-point win over Pocahontas. Prairie Grove has won 3 in a row and will travel to Farmington next week with the 1-4A title on the line. The Lono Jackrabbits jump up to number 16 after a 17-point win over Heber Springs. Then it's Clarksville, Hamburg, and Dardanelle, which has lost back-to-back games after a 2-0 start. And Valley View moves into the top 20 for the first time in the history of the Blazer program.
That's the Class 4A rankings from Hooten's Arkansas football today at the Marketplace Grill. We got more highlights coming up from Class 3A and 2A next on Hooten's Arkansas football.
Hi, I'm Ashley Rich from Clarendon, and you're watching Hooten's Arkansas football. Go Lions!
Now, more of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by Sonic.
Fellas, you deserve this game. The fellas are not going to give you anything to. They're in our house.
At Pottsville, the Apaches ranked number 24 in the state and looking to start 4-0 for the first time in school history. Playing host to the Paris Eagles, Pottsville jumped to a 6-0 lead, but Paris comes back. Junior running back Rusty Jones, he missed most of last season, making up for it this year. Big gain before Pottsville's Jonathan Huffman makes the stop. Moments later, it's Paris's quarterback, Parker Whittington. He hits Jared Pence, and Pence is going to pick him up and put him down. 65 yards for the Paris touchdown, and it's tied at 6 in the second quarter. Pottsville strikes back. Josh Falls calls his own number, rumbles deep into Paris territory before Josh Fines can make the tackle for Paris. Then Pottsville's 200-pound running back, Jacob Irwin, runs right over the Paris Eagles for a 19-yard touchdown. Irwin finished with 110 yards and 2 touchdowns as Pottsville racked up right at 400 yards rushing. Final score, undefeated Pottsville 34, Paris 12. At Atkins, the undefeated Red Devils playing host to undefeated Lamar. Big game in the River Valley. Atkins already up 21-7 in the third when Lamar hits Atkins with some swift justice. Senior running back Jonathan Justice sprinting 45 yards before Atkins' Terrence Bobo shoves him out of bounds. Justice carried 9 times for 101 yards on the night. Lamar's senior Josh Dossett will finish this drive with a short touchdown. Atkins 21, Lamar 14. But Atkins Bobo, who's headed for 1,000 yards in a hurry, puts the game out of reach with this 33-yard run. Atkins racked up 242 yards of offense and held Lamar scoreless in the fourth quarter. The final, Atkins 29, Lamar 14.
This is what we got to do every week. We got to just keep going from here. Every week. We got to get better, though.
Here's Hootens.com Class 3A rankings. Shiloh Christian was pushed by Pea Ridge before winning 41-24. Glen Rose won the Battle of the Beavers, beating Lake Village 42-6. Charleston's in the top 5 after an impressive 41-0 win over rival Lavaca. And Bauxite drops to number 5 after an unimpressive 4-point win at England. Mayflower plays host to Harding Academy in a showdown next week. Atkins is undefeated. Lavaca drops to number 9. And Corning, which had the week off, jumps into the top 10. Then it's Green Forest, Lake Village, the Go Devils, Lafayette County, and Hoxie. Harrisburg drops to number 16 after a 6-point loss to Hoxie. Perryville smoked Salem 49-0. Marshall scoring 50 points per game. And number 19 Mountainburg is undefeated after a 35-21 win over Elkins.
It's a big game. We've been thinking about this game since last year, haven't we? This is a measuring stick of where we are, guys. They're the defending AA state champion.
The Murfreesboro Rattlers still remember their 23-point loss to Coach Don Phillips and the defending 2A champ Jessieville Lions. And on Murfreesboro's first possession, senior quarterback Mark McCray going deep. Perfect pass to junior Michael Dalton. McCray threw nice ones all night. He was 16 of 32, 494 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And here's the first TD. Over the top against man coverage. Senior Zach Buffkins got it. Murfreesboro 7, Jessieville 0. But Jessieville fires right back on the ensuing kickoff. Jonathan Bates is going to get loose and returns this 57 yards all the way down to the Murfreesboro 30. 5 plays later, Jessieville's senior Dewey Knowles crashes in for the score. It was tied at 7 in the first quarter, and the fireworks had only begun. Jessieville piled up 326 yards, but it wasn't enough. Final score, Murfreesboro 50, winless Jessieville 41. From Murfreesboro to Hermitage, the Hermits playing host to Woodlawn. This one's probably going to decide the 8AA title, and there was some hitting going on at Hermitage. That's Hermitage senior Donovan Thomas knocking heads on the opening kickoff. He led the Hermits on offense with 74 yards rushing. Now watch Hermitage with the trickeration. The halfback pass from Mark Newton. He finds his man as Tyler Corson getting loose in Woodlawn territory. And a few plays later, Hermitage going up top again. Quarterback Ethan Vickers flings it, but there's Woodlawn's senior Bracey Young with the interception. A little bit later, still in the first quarter, Woodlawn trying to get it going, but there's Corson and Thomas getting it done on defense for the Hermits. Ball is loose, and Donald Hargraves scoops it up. Can Hermitage take advantage? Going back to the halfback pass, but Woodlawn senior Austin Holloway steps in front. This was a defensive struggle early, but Woodlawn got it going in the second half. Final score, Woodlawn 20, Hermitage 12. The visiting Earl Bulldogs, ranked number 5 in the state, led Spring Hill 43-16 in the fourth quarter, but Spring Hill does not lay down. Brandon Otis, he's gone. 58 yards for the Bears score. He had 128 yards on the night, mostly in the second half, as Earl's coach Maurice Moody kept quarterback Stephen Meredith busy, and he just ran Spring Hill ragged. Get this, Earl scored 6 touchdowns on 6 plays in the first half. Next week, Earl starts kicking conference foes. Hello, Hazen. Final score, Earl 43, Spring Hill 24.
6AA is going to be tough. We're going to make some noise in the playoffs. Execution on offense and play hard on defense.
Here's Hootens.com Class 2A rankings. Number 1, Junction City passed its stiffest test so far, out-muscling Strong 37-13. Second-ranked Bearden led Northlet 44-0 at the half. Bearden's first-team defense has allowed just 74 yards rushing this season. Mount Ida beat Danville, but the non-conference victory for the Lions might prove costly if All-State fullback linebacker Josh Baker is seriously injured. Bigelow sticks at number 6 with a critical victory at Hackett. Jessieville's losses came to Murfreesboro and quality 3A teams Gurdon, Charleston, and Magnet Cove. Des Arc and Clarendon won Friday night, and they'll battle next week in a key 6AA game. Danville starts the second 10, followed by Spring Hill. Woodlawn moves up to 13 after beating Hermitage and probably claiming the 8AA title. Cross County plays host to Mark Tree next week. Derricks rallied for a 1-point win at Mountain Pine. Clarendon jumps up 8 slots after winning at Mark Tree. There's the Indians, followed by Hazen, Hackett, and Mountain Pine to round out the top 20. For our State Farm Play of the Week, we take you back to Warren. The Lumberjacks clinging to a 26-20 lead. Dollarway on the move when Warren's sophomore Antonio Harding strips the ball and junior Blake Harris scoops and scores to seal the Lumberjacks' big win over Dollarway. That's our State Farm Play of the Week. Remember, in December, we'll be naming a State Farm Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year for every classification. That's at the prestigious State Farm Awards, presented by Hootens.com.
Thanks for watching Hooten's Arkansas football this morning from the Marketplace Grill. It's almost lunchtime, and what's better on a Saturday in September than an American burger with cheddar cheese, all the trimmings, tomato, onion, pickles. Put some sweet potato fries on the side. That is just one of many great menu items available at Marketplace Grill. They have locations across the state, in Conway, also at Fort Smith, Springdale. Don't forget about the Marketplace Express in Rogers and Fayetteville. That's the Marketplace Grill. And we thank you for watching Hooten's Arkansas football this morning. We look forward to seeing you again next Saturday at 11 on 11 right here for Hooten's Arkansas football.
You've been watching Arkansas's most watched sports show, Hooten's Arkansas Football.